Today on Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. So what's that dream?
Love that opening. Get a bravo over here. Well done.
They're not trying to be mean. Like, they really do wonder if what I'm doing is witchcraft.
There's always somebody out there creating the same product as you, better, stronger, faster than you.
It's really more opportunity for hospitality.
Part of the first step around mastering your internal triggers is to reimagine the trigger, reimagine the task, and reimagine our temperament.
Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond. Today on Thrive Loud, we have the camera confidence coach and Facebook Live ninja. She is known for energizing her room and inspiring others to step into an elevated sense of their own awesome. I love that, by the way. Pulling from her vast experience as a professional performer, she helps deliver clear steps that allow business owners to step into their spotlight so they can increase their visibility and bottom line with clarity, confidence, and joy. And I'm sure she's going to share with us why a $1,000 pair of pants is one of the best investments she's ever made. Thrive Loud listeners, my friend and soon to be yours, Molly Mahoney. Molly, how are you today?
I'm so good. I'm wearing my $1,000 pants right now.
Shut up! Oh my God. We needed to do this as like a video cast or something.
I could just say that on every podcast and it wouldn't matter what I was wearing. So
here's the story, because what I will probably do in the show notes is I've seen some pictures of these pants, and by the way, they're pretty amazing. So maybe we'll have a little glimpse of them. But we're going to dive right into that. Let's talk about your confidence and what you do and how even a pair of pants like this actually is perfectly in line and on brand with what you're doing. I think our listeners will love to hear it because they're going to have so much fun in this show. It'll be awesome. So kick it away, Molly. How did all of this become your main gig?
Yeah, so I started when I was 8 years old as Peter Pan in a musical.
At least I didn't go back to the womb. Okay.
But for reals, I majored in theater. I moved to New York, did cruise ships, I sang at the Rio in Las Vegas, did lots of shows out in New York and all over the country. I toured with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And while I was on tour with a flying car, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, my then fiance, or my boyfriend at the time, proposed in Chicago. And we decided we didn't want to live in New York anymore if we were going to have kiddos and all of that. So we packed up everything and moved back to California. And at that point, I had really, I was fulfilled in my performance career and decided I was going to help others to do the same. So I launched a business, which is the same name of my business now, The Prepared Performer, and started helping kids and adults to be able to build a career using their creative talents. So I was teaching singing lessons, and then also, in college, we didn't really get like the actual career coaching that we desperately needed. So that was really how I started it, was helping performers to have a career. And then through some crazy stories, everything switched. And now instead of teaching or performers how to have a business, I teach business owners how to perform.
Oh, I love this. Okay, so let's just talk from a performance perspective. Are you the acting, the singing, the full musical all put together type of performer? Was that what you came?
For sure. Yeah. Tap dancing, singing. I mean, even I don't sing as often as I used to, but tonight, randomly, I have a jazz gig with my husband. He's a bass player. So so every once in a while we get asked. And so I convinced him to say yes.
I love it. It's awesome. And one of my very good friends and fellow speaker and former Thrive Loud alum, I guess, on the show, Jen Slaw, is a professional juggler. And I always talk about, she has managed to take her career of juggling and her performance of that into workshop stuff about literally balancing one thing at a time and all this
I
stuff. It's
love
really
it.
great, right?
Yeah, so cool.
So talk about something that you have owned since you were Peter Pan, or in the performance of Peter Pan, at the age of 8, which was not too long ago. I'm guessing, like 13 years ago. Anyway, with all of that, explain to our listeners, I guess, how you're able to bring that confidence out every single day. Is this something you've always had?
I do think that I had a tendency toward that. However, there's definitely now a system that I use because, where I may be confident on stage, like singing a song, when I walk into, like, I remember the first time I went to a business networking event, oh my gosh, it was like, I felt like I was a 15-year-old kid with all of these like fancy professional people. So I have a system that I developed that I use for my students and clients that I actually use when going to auditions in New York. It's called the Quesadilla of Awesome.
And what is in this quesadilla of awesome?
Oh, I will tell you. So you're going to take everything that you offer in your business, and I know we can't see each other, but if you can hold it like you have an invisible ball between your hand, like in your hand, like your fingers are curved like you're holding a ball.
You have to see what I'm doing. I'm doing that right now. Look like I'm holding a ball. Yep.
Me too. All of the things that you offer in your business, they're inside that ball, and you're going to take them and you're going to throw them up into the sky.
Okay. Thrown up in the air.
Okay. And now they're floating above us like Mikey TV. Like in Willy Wonka, right?
Love that guy.
And what are you left with?
I'm left with nothing. I left it up in the air.
No, you're left with you, Lou.
Oh, with me. Yes, I am.
You're left with Lou Diamond. What the heck? And so this is where most people get freaked out, whether it comes to going into an audition, going on a sales call, stepping on stage, turning the video camera on, especially when it's live, because it's us. And it's on live video, it's the gremlin staring us back in the face. So I realized after coaching students who, I have one student, a vocal student of mine is now on the new Mickey Mouse Club. I have, so many people that have hit these awesome levels of success and the nerves still creep up. So you're going to do the exercise of the Quesadilla of Awesome, which is you're going to make a list of 20 things that make you a uniquely awesome human being.
20 things.
Yeah. But some people have a hard time with that. It gets like freaked out.
So let's say these awesome things could be personality things. They could be skills that you have. They could be anything, whatever makes you awesome.
So I actually have an acronym to help you fill it out because
oh my God, is it a 20-letter acronym?
No, it's only, okay. So that's actually tricky. It's the word SAVE, but it has 5 letters because I can't spell. So I spell it wrong on purpose so that people get over it and I stop apologizing for it.
Fair enough.
So it's SAAVE. So you already guessed one of them, which is your skill sets. That's the S.
Got it.
Skill sets. The A is for your appearance, because if we can't celebrate things about our appearance, our own gremlins are going to dim our confidence. But if we, and this is like, comes back to the pants, right? So like, I know when I gain weight, I gain weight straight in the middle, but my legs are usually pretty rocking. So I'm going to pick things, and I'm just going to be honest that like, I know how to hide the places that I'm not that comfortable with. But if I'm going to accentuate anything, it's going to be my legs so that I can feel more confident. Thanks, Dad. So
you could always blame the parents, but anyway, keep going. Yes.
So, so like those pants I bought so that I could know that when I walked out onto the stage at the ManyChat conference, which was one of the biggest career speaking opportunities for me, that I was going to feel like a total rock star, which it doesn't matter if anybody else likes the pants. It matters how I feel about the pants and how they affect me from the inside out.
True that.
So, okay. So your appearance, then your activities, so that we can talk about things like a human being, right? Like knitting, crocheting, poker, whatever it is that you like to do. Then your values. So it's funny. We have a really clear value, which is we stand for joy as a fierce form of activism. Rather than getting grumpy and mad when Facebook changes the algorithm, we're like, yes, a change. Awesome. And it makes some people mad, and that's okay. They can go hang out with somebody else. But people who want to find the joy, they're going to gravitate towards the prepared performer. I
like this. SAAV.
And then there's an E.
And then there's an E because we added an extra A for awesome. Okay.
Exactly. SAAVE. And the E is for things you like to eat.
Oh, really?
Now, this is where people get a little like, what? And so I'm going to prove it to you how important this is. I don't know if you can do it right now, but if you can if you pull up your personal Facebook page.
I'm doing that right now, listeners. I'm just going to user mode. Okay, Thrive Loud listeners, I'm bringing up my own personal Facebook. Should I bring up my Thrive Loud page or my own personal?
No, your personal page.
Okay, I'm on my personal page.
Okay, and you're going to write these words: Brussels sprouts, yes or no.
In my search or in my
No. You're going to post it.
I'm going to post it. Brussels sprouts. I'm doing it now. This is classic. How do I spell Brussels sprouts? Brussels sprouts. I got it.
It has 2 S's. Brussels sprouts. It has lots of S's actually, but
so Brussels. Does it have 2 L's? I've never known that.
I don't know. Brussels. Isn't it just Brussels sprouts? It's not Brussels. Brussels sprouts. Okay, Brussels sprouts. Yes or no? Yeah, and then post it.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Okay, by the time we're done with this, I'm telling you, you are going to have a slew of comments.
Okay.
It's the craziest thing. But food is something that all humans can talk about because we all eat food unless we're an Eritrean. And Brussels sprouts are oddly polarizing. Like people either love them or hate them.
And
now,
by the way, I'm loving the fact that I'm posting this. I've already got 2 responses. How did that happen so quickly? You're stalking me. Anyway.
Without fail.
Okay,
that's the quesadilla of awesome. And once you have this list, you look at it before you go live and like take your fingers and kind of do like this. Can you hear that?
I can hear that. Yes, okay. I did.
Tap them on your chest, not on your microphone. And you want to feel this bubbly sense of goodness. So it's reminding yourself about what it is that makes you before you come on camera. So it's not about being like over the top and crazy like I am on camera. It's about really tapping into who you are and elevating that a little bit and bringing it out to your community.
Okay. First of all, I love this. I love this energy and I love all the save quesadilla of awesome.
And it's called the quesadilla of awesome because everyone has something that makes them uniquely awesome, even if it's just that you make an amazing quesadilla.
Okay. I love it. Okay. So there is something interesting here because obviously like you are a natural born performer. And I've seen you on stage. I see your energy and our listeners can already hear your natural excitement. And obviously one of the gifts that you have is helping people obtain that confidence and specifically in a certain environment, being the digital environment. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something really interesting. I have noticed, obviously I'm much more comfortable in front of just the voice than sometimes looking at the camera. And I'm much better when I don't even know the camera's there. Give me some confidence tips or points that you've dealt with to help people actually look good in their communications, in their video blogs, and the way they appear online digitally, because you're really good at it. I have to comment. And let alone the Thrive Loud listeners need to know, before we went on to the audio only option, we were both seeing each other in a video chat and she's like zoomed in, like really close to her camera with her newly minted, slightly dyed purple hair or blue hair. It looks like blue streaks.
It's like oil. It's like oil slick is the official color.
You'll see it in the podcast artwork. But I just want to know, give us some helpful tips on this because you're excellent at this.
Thanks. And it's something that you don't actually need a lot of gear to, really elevate your appearance that you're bringing to the camera. So you do want to have lighting that is great. Natural lighting is the best. So if you can get in front of a window, awesome. But you don't need a super fancy camera. So when I do my videos, I literally just use my desktop. And that's part of the reason that I'm so close. I have fancier cameras, but for me, I like things to be easy. I use B.Live every time I go live on my business page because I can add a lower third, a frame. It makes it look professional, but it's not going to take loads of time or tech. I say if you're worried about the gear, that is the fear. So we want to make the gear as simple as possible for this. So the lighting is really important. I have a big ring light that I use, which for a while I put that off. But once I finally invested in a ring light, which, they're a couple $100, you can get them cheaper, but a good one is a couple $100 and it's so valuable. So the ring light also and this is really good for Instagram husbands. So do you know what an Instagram husband is?
You're going to share. What is an Instagram husband?
So when people post, and I suppose there can be Instagram wives as well, but if you're my sister is a really amazing Instagram expert. And she said, when you signed up as a business owner, you may not have realized this, but you signed up as a model.
I guess that's true.
And so, we want to be able to present ourselves in the best light. And the one way to do that, if you are an awesome spouse who is taking a photo of your entrepreneur wife or husband, you want to follow the rules of the Instagram husband, which is lift the dang camera above eye level. Because when you're on camera, if the camera is below eye level, your eyes naturally will look half closed.
That is so true. And now what's really funny is I've noticed that's the selfie pose, if you would, where people just look up and they're looking up to the right or up to the left. That is
yeah, it's true.
I'm now stalking you and looking to see if you have any of these pictures online.
If you're looking right now, go look at my morning at the passport office where I had a perfectly taken photo. They wouldn't let me use because they said my head was too big. Then they made me do it over again. And I swear between those photos, I've gained 20 pounds, and they were taken less than 24 hours apart.
Okay, so let's dive into something that I think I know, because as much as the confidence is what you can look like on the outside, you have a lot of the importance of the stuff that's on the inside.
Yeah, I think that's the most important, really.
In the work that you do and the stuff that you speak about, I always like to ask speakers, what's the aha moment most often? The message you deliver when you're on stage, when you literally see your audience members nodding their head going, oh yeah, I totally get that. What is that aha moment most frequently when you speak?
Such a good question, yo.
Only good questions from Molly Mahoney on Thrive Loud today. On every day.
So there's a few. I think in the way that I usually talk about this, the first piece that I talk about is that confidence piece. And have you seen the movie Kung Fu Panda 3?
I've seen all the Kung Fu Panda movies, and I'm very proud of it.
Okay, good. I almost put Kung Fu Panda 3 as my favorite movie, but it was a tough choice. Yeah. But so in the end of Kung Fu Panda 3, Po is trying to teach the other pandas how to be a ninja.
Right. And
he's like, what's wrong with you? Like, get out there and fight, trying to get him to fight. And finally he realizes, like, in order for them to be successful, they just need to like roll around like pandas. So he has this moment where the camera, it's animated, but it zooms in on his face and he says, I don't need to teach you to be more like me. I need to teach you to be more like you.
Right.
It's the same thing as that quesadilla of awesome, but really it's understanding that on a deeper level, that if you forget about, like, we didn't even talk about this, but I'm really into not only video and camera stuff, but messenger bots is a huge piece of our business, and some really crazy tech stuff that we do.
We're going to talk about that, but keep going. We'll get back to that in a sec. So keep finishing the panda part.
Yes, people who don't know me will think that, like, if I'm speaking at the ManyChat conference, ManyChat is a messenger bot tool, that it's, or at Traffic and Conversion, which I'm so stoked to be speaking there this coming year, that I'm going to teach them all these automation tricks, which I do. However, if you don't have the human-to-human connection, none of that matters.
Right.
And so it's taking that step back and recognizing that you need to do the things that don't scale in order to scale. And not looking at it as a demographic where you're figuring out the age range and the, income level or whatever, but you're speaking to an actual human being. And in your videos, if you can use a Mr. Rogers style, this has been really, people have said this lately, has been a like aha moment, is this Mr. Rogers style conversation where you're not saying, hey, everybody, or hey, listeners, you're saying, hey, you.
Hey, neighbor.
Hey, neighbor. Just like Mr. Rogers.
Have you seen the trailer, by the way, for Tom Hanks's plane?
Oh my gosh. I was driving today back from the passport place, and there was a big, huge billboard, and I almost like swerved into the other lane because I was so excited and like reading it as I was driving. But yeah, in the documentary, he mentions that one of the reasons he thinks the show was so successful is because it was just him having a conversation via the camera with one person on the other side.
That is the truth. And I'm going to pair this all together. I'm going to do my best connecting skills here as best as I possibly can, Molly. The message from the panda piece that it's always about you, which ironically, if you remembered in the first panda movie, that's what he needed to do. He needed to fight like he was getting a dumpling, something he wanted to do. It was only him. And obviously that same sense of Mr. Rogers communicating to just one person and trying to find out what's best for you, which was always what his program was about. Yeah. I get that now. This is why you just add all that up, because all your skills are about finding that quesadilla of awesome that works great, and that makes perfect sense. You're tapping into the inside, and that's how everyone's going to be able to see it on the outside.
Yeah. And how am I doing so far? It's so good. But I think really that's how we're going to make a difference in the world. Like when the San Bernardino shootings happened several years ago, I remember standing in my kitchen and having little kids, and I was teaching voice lessons singing lessons at the time, and I just remember thinking, like, there's nothing I can do. And it was like one of the only full body downloads that I had where I was like, no, every single day I am here helping people to tap into who they really are, so that, and how to recognize that in other people too. It's like very namaste, I suppose, but it's true. And so I decided, I'm not going to focus on any of the negative stuff. I'm going to focus as fiercely as I can on helping people to really know who they are and celebrating that.
Molly, I want to go down 2 avenues before I hit the question that most listeners know that I love to ask, but I want to hit this one first. In all of these great things that you do as a coach, as doing your online communication and your blogs, you even have a podcast that I know that's been in the works or been in and out of the game
Yes.
now and then. You're speaking, or even back to those performing days. You get to pick one of those things that you want to do on that day. What's the one go-to that you're selecting?
Ooh, what do you mean? Like to prepare for it?
You get to pick one thing of all the amazing things that you do. You just get to pick one of those special skills. What's the one you're picking?
Ay, ay, ay. I think that's just been my problem in life since I was a little kid, is that I love more than I don't. I will say that recently I've written 5 songs for our community.
Wow.
And we had an event that we hosted last week, and I started the event by singing the song. I ended up singing all 5 songs at the event, but they were written for the community to like accentuate what I was going to be teaching. And so I think I'd have my own event. Like I'd run events. If I could do only one thing. Yeah. Because you're able to be there with real people, but I can incorporate the music. I can see the difference it's making because it's tangible. It's like, Yeah.
For you, it's the production of the whole show as opposed to just one of the isolated things that you like to do. I like that. Yeah. Is that what we got going on?
Well, I think, and then I can witness the impact that I'm making. Sometimes when I love doing, Facebook Lives and all that, but sometimes it's hard to see the actual impact.
Mm-hmm.
Because you record this thing and then it goes out there. So like on a Zoom call, I can see it, in our coaching calls, but in real life, like I can hug people.
Oh, so Molly,
sappy lady
I know.
over here.
Well, let's see where you go with this.
I can
Molly.
smack them too if I need to, but
So, okay. So we all have days where we're not quite kicking on all cylinders. Sometimes we end up at the NEMV. And on those days that we're not quite thriving, what practice do you seek or individual do you seek out to help yourself get back on the thriving track?
Sleeping is good. I don't do it very often.
Sleeping is amazing. That might be the best answer yet. I take a nap.
I think legit though, I go so fast and I'm so inundated with information. And I think it's really on days like that, it's days where I just need to be quiet.
You be quiet. Hold on. I'm sorry. I missed that part. You quiet? Okay. As Thrive Lab listeners could probably imagine. Molly quiet, not all the time. But I like that. A little quiet.
And conversely, sometimes like sleep, taking a nap, whatever. But conversely, I do think if I'm like in a funk, if I go live and then, talk about it and get it out and like get to workshop it with my peeps, that can have the same, shifting effect. So
I like it. Let's do this now, Molly. Share with the listeners all the places people can find you, websites, links, things coming up on the calendar, what you're excited about for 2020 at this point. All these great things. We will put it all in the show notes. However, our listeners love to hear it from you.
Yeah. So we've tried to use The Prepared Performer across all platforms. So if you look up The Prepared Performer, you'll definitely on most platforms be able to find us, aside from Twitter, which that didn't fit. So it's Prep to Perform on Twitter, but I don't do anything on Twitter anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But Facebook, Instagram, all of that, if you look for The Prepared Performer, you'll find us. thepreparedperformer.com is our website. We also have a couple of really awesome ways to get more support, like videocontentplan.com is a great way to download a video content planner so that you know what the heck to talk about. And I go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time over at The Prepared Performer. It's Molly Mahoney, The Prepared Performer on Facebook. So that's a good way to see my face and get to hang out.
Just for the Thrive Loud listeners who were curious, ever since I posted the Brussels sprouts, yes or no, 8 responses in the time since we've been here, and more coming. I see them coming in on the queue over here. So, I love when you put that in. Who knew? Food always gets everyone's reaction.
And now people are always like, "What do I do with this?" But now you actually talk to people.
A lot of people, by the way, I've got nobody with a negative on Brussels sprouts. Everyone seems to love them. So. All right, let's continue to have fun with Molly. We've been having fun since the very beginning. I think it's important because this will totally drive us home. Can you share with the listeners your all-time favorite movie?
Hello. I was going to try and do some quote, but there's so many to choose from. So, confident is the one that I'll go with.
That was really good.
I will tell you that we almost
Carol Kane has nothing
child.
on you, I swear. Okay.
We almost named our second child Mandy.
Mandy Patinkin. Oh my goodness. For the Thrive Loud listeners who haven't figured it out, The Princess Bride. Yes. First of all, why does that movie connect so much with you?
Man, I feel like, it's such great storytelling. It has an awesome mission. And you can watch it again and again and again. I don't think there's any movie that has so many quotable lines. And even now, I've watched it with my kids. We just watched it maybe a couple weeks ago. And when Carol Channing passed away, I was like, I have to show my kids that Alice in Wonderland miniseries. Did you ever see that?
I remember it. Once. It was definitely out there, but I did see it, yes.
Okay. In my mind, the Jabberwocky in that movie looked just like the dragon in Game of Thrones. And I was like, you guys, we're going to watch this movie. It's going to be so amazing. It gets to the Jabberwocky part, and legit, it looks like one of those blow-up T-Rex costumes.
Technology is advanced just a little bit.
Oh my gosh. It's so bad. However, Princess Bride, which came out around the same time, all the stuff that they did in that, the ROUSs and all of that, still, they looked good. You can watch it now and it feels like a movie that you're watching now. And if you don't really know all about Mandy Patinkin, you don't know that he was also a crazy Broadway star with this ridiculously amazing voice. And so, I just like him.
Is there one scene in that movie that is your favorite? Because there's so many of them, but is there one that sticks out?
A couple of years ago, we were on a cruise ship and it was playing outside, and that was the first time my kids saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best ever. And my son, who's now 5, Charleston, was maybe 3 at the time, and he said, "Anybody want a peanut?" Over and over and over again. And it was so funny that that I also just really love the fencing.
That's my scene. That Mandy Patinkin and Carrie Elway's doing the fighting on the rocks, and
I'm not left-handed, all of that.
Yes, it's the dialogue up there, and he swears on the oath of his father, or the sword of his father, that he would let him up and he won't let him drop.
Yeah,
because can you hurry it up a little bit? I would like to get the fighting on with.
I know. It's respect. There's so many lessons, right? It's good. It's
brilliant, and throwing in the curveball of Billy Crystal and Carol Kane's scene of the not mostly dead. Yes, the MLT where the mutton is nice and lean. Always very good. To wrap this show with a very pretty bow, Molly, because we've had so much fun. Both of us had the chance to speak on the same stage not too long ago, and I wanted to let our listeners know here, what is the song or the jam that you like to have play when you go up on the stage that gets you motivated and gets the audience kicking and gearing as the ultimate prepared performer?
Ooh, yeah. So I love the entrance of The Greatest Showman. So that dun, da, 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 bong.
That's perfect for you.
I love it. This is the greatest show. Yeah, I love it.
I'm trying to think, as 2020 comes up and you get on stage and you're out there and you're performing, you're running more events and you're doing the things that you love. What's the next big outfit that's in your plans for what you're going to wear?
Man, I have been on a hunt, yo. And I swear my COO messaged me the other day and she was like, I think Facebook has our pixels mixed up because she's being retargeted with all these sparkly pants.
Again, Thrive Loud listeners, will show you these pants. She does look awesome. She look great. And the most amazing thing was I saw her the day before she put on the pants, and then I saw the pants. And to say that they lived up to the expectations and she did not undersell them. She didn't oversell them. She undersold how amazing she looked.
Okay, and the reason that it came up is because even though, we've talked a lot about the confidence piece, like I was feeling really uncomfortable and guilty about having spent that much money on a pair of pants. And it was this, we've done pretty well in the past few years with our business and, made a huge impact on so many people through our Glam, Go Live and Monetize program and system. But I like the idea of allowing myself to celebrate that. And by allowing myself to, invest in these pants, I was super embarrassed. So when I stepped off the stage at MiniChat, I literally got attacked by people who were like, "Oh my gosh, your pants." And then I couldn't tell them where I got them because I was too embarrassed about it.
You owned up to it when I saw you next, though.
Yeah. So then on stage at New Media Summit where we met, I confessed in front of a room of 200 people and I had actual hot flashes. But then I decided to wear them the next day. And it turned out so many people resonated with that message of, allowing ourselves to celebrate our success. So the panticipation about what I'm going to wear next is palpable panticipation.
The elevated sense of one's own awesome.
Yes.
I can't thank you enough, the Molly Mahoney, for coming on Thrive Loud today. This has been a ton of fun for me. I hope our listeners enjoyed our lovely little chat back and forth, which we hopefully described enough of our inside stories for you to really gain some value. But keep being as amazing and awesome as you are to everyone, because you are killing it, kicking it into gear, and inspire so many people, self included. I might have to go get my own real cool pair of pants. So thanks for coming on the show today, Molly.
Thank you. Show up.
And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Thrive Loud. Or find us on the web at thriveloud.com.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle. Goodbye.